The Wyckoff terminal shakeout into ordinary shakeout phase appears to be in full effect and is suggesting an imminent upside continuation. Time and patience are key to assets that are not following the meme stock craze. Welcome back to the channel on this Hump Day Wednesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol ASRE. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Let's go ahead and dive in to ticker symbol ASRE here. So I want to go ahead and show you guys something, right? So yeah, this is the Wyckoff, the Wyckoff reaccumulation event or phase that's happening right now, right? So I drew this in. I put in this drawing here the last time so that you are aware over what that phase looks like, right? Or what it appears like to the. I guess this is a very simplistic way to give you what could happen if enough of sentiment within the asset believes that this is the strategy in play and this is the strategy that will take it home, right? So what I'm going to do here is actually show you also my simplistic way. So I understand that there are different ways of doing this, right? But I actually drew it by hand. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you this right here, right? So let's go ahead and just hide the price action, and there you go. Okay, so in this particular phase, I'm starting right here, right? So right over here is what I'm starting at. So we get that top side to not quite touch the resistance, right? Just like we didn't touch that resistance. We then make a series of lower highs on the way down. Right, so making that series of lower highs, and then we eventually fail the bottom side support, creating the terminal shakeout, the spring itself, reclaiming the inside of the channel, then testing the channel as a renewed support before a continuation to the upside, and testing the areas of support as we go up, and so on. Right, so this is exactly what you see happening here. So another thing we can do is actually just put it up like right about like this, right? So you can see that it's a very similar effect that you're getting here, right? So the next thing we can do also is just add the price action into that. And when we add the price action into that, just go ahead and take a look at that correlation now, right? Here's our drawing. Here's the price action, and and there's the Wyckoff theory, right? It's looking very similar. And it looks like we are prepping ourselves for that continuation. So what's happening here on the ordinary shakeout is that we get that drop beneath the current support. We reclaim the inside and we come back and test that support before a continuation to the upside. So in our case, it looks like we're doing just that. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Leave that right there where it originally was. And so here's that shakeout, right? This one right here. We come back, we reclaim the inside, and as you can see here, let's go ahead and just delete this. It looks like we already did it one time, but not quite there. There could be still one more shot at this 30-cent bottom before a continuation to the upside, although we already got a very close one right there. Okay, so it's looking like we're at about here-ish, right? So just kind of be aware of this, right? Because, I'm putting out these warnings here because this thing, as far as the statistics and as far as the psychology and the charting is concerned, there could be an upside to be observed here, and a pretty powerful one at that. Okay, team, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart here and see what else we have. Okay, so let's see. According to the 30-minute chart, volatility versus momentum is looking pretty good too. We're actually increasing volatility right now. We're expanding, and we have an upside pivot on stochastic momentum. That's very powerful. Another thing that we need to notice here is that we're still printing green bars here in the MACD, although there is a little bit of a curvature here, which could show some type of consolidation as per usual, right? And then a possible recovery. So let's go into the hourly time frame and see what we have. Okay, so hourly time frame, volatility is currently expanding, right? We also have a very powerful upside pivot here on stochastic momentum, both in the bullish control zone and approaching, actually the EMA3 approaching the gravitational zone of the bullish control zone, which would essentially pull us to the upside. it's looking very bullish there. So RSI signal finding support on the moving average before continuing on to the upside, printing green bars. And it looks like the RSI is showing some type of consolidation, hence consolidation, right? Still looking okay. And now, if we look at the SMI versus MFI, which is stochastic momentum versus money flow index, you can actually see that the histogram in the background is already showing some blue bars. So that paired with upside momentum, that's showing that this is cash flow is inbound, and we have momentum towards the upside. Pairing volatility to that can only lead to good things. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the bi-hourly time frame. Yep, bi-hourly also inside of the bullish control zone with an upside pivot, although we are not expanding volatility just yet. But MACD showing some conviction towards the upside too. And if anything, it looks like we may be able to find a little bit of a short-term downside, find that support from the SMA 14, represented by the pink line within the RSI indicator, and then get a bounce to the upside. Okay, let's see. 3-hour time frame. Yeah, upside pivot on the EMA3. That's very good. We're currently just flat bottomed contraction. This is critical. So mathematically speaking, when we are at critical contraction, this is set to expand, right? And the thing here is that the expansion looks like it can be paired with an upside pivot already. Same situation here on the RSI with an upside pivot, and also getting the bullish crossover here on the MACD 3-hour time frame, getting the first green bar printed. So let's just see how that reacts, right? And also here, look at this. We're cash flow positive right now, momentum leading towards the upside, getting the first blue bar on that MFI, the money flow. Okay, so yeah, this is it's looking pretty good. Oh man, not only this is, check this out. 3-hour time frame RVOL moving upside of the moving average. That's already signaling some potential traders. Okay, that's honestly, that would signal me as a day trader, because I want to take part in that price action, right? Whenever volume moves upside of its moving average, that's exactly when day traders tend to have their algorithm. I mean, both of systematic traders and discretionary traders, they have their own strategies, right? But a systems-based systematic trader would actually have his or her algorithm set a buy signal upside of the moving average. In this case, you can see that, yeah, we're moving upside of the moving average, and this could lead to a continuation to the upside. Of course, we still have that resistance to look out for at 35.80, close to 36 cents. Like always, right? We'll have to be vigilant about that and react accordingly. But yeah, I find it okay. And here now, using the ARQ balancer, which gives us the previous points of resistances and supports, this is telling us here that we do have a resistance coming up right up here. And guess what that resistance is, right? 35.84. We literally just talked about that 35.84, right around that 36 range, right up here, right? So yeah, ARQ balancer looking very good and suggesting a continuation to the upside. And not only that, is if we go ahead and hide balancer and now look at ARQ DBSI, which is a statistical indicator that takes a metric of every single candle closure upside of the EMA 13, represented by the white line, versus every candle closure beneath the EMA 13. And that gives us a statistical value and strength, relative strength, right up here. So you're looking at the 15-minute time frame, immediate short-term bulls in the lead, 78% over the bears at 22%. With an upside pivot on stochastic momentum, expanding volatility, it's looking pretty damn good, right? So also, when you get these X's, especially after a buy signal, because DBSI also has sell signals and buy signals. So this buy signal here, followed by these X's, which represent consolidation. We already saw that in the RSI too, by the way. That usually happens right before an upside. So this consolidation is a signal of a potential upside coming in. And we already got the long signal printed down here. If you were following the DBSI, strategy, then you would have already been long this at 32, and you're sitting currently at 34, with a high of day coming up to with a high of day coming up to, near the end of the day. The high of day actually went up all the way to 35.79, but at some point after the long entry, you were at just about 35 cents from the 32 entry. So yeah, it's looking pretty good to me, team. I'm very much along this asset, and still considering pulling in here. Full transparency here. I still am considering entering deeper into the asset around these places here. So now daily time frame Gaussian band, you can actually see that we're clearly upside of the bands and validating the top side as a support. Right. So not only that is that my this is my personal RSI divergence strategy. Right. So this gives you signals of both bearish and bullish drives of divergence, and also regular and hidden variety. So in this case, you are actually observing it is a confirmed drive of hidden bullish divergence, which happens when there's an opposition of price versus momentum, and in this case, momentum represented by RSI. So yeah, you have the price action making a series of higher lows and the momentum making a series of lower lows. That creates a drive of hidden bullish divergence, and it is still kind of balanced out here and suggesting an upside even still. So as we get closer to this 50% of the RSI, I mean, we're still, let's see, we're at about, we're at about 45%. So when we reach 48% right up here, we would be in the gravitational zone, which then would actually pull us to the upside. So a little bit of patience here, but it's looking like this asset may start turning around very soon. And here's another signal for a potential upside. 5-day closure just happened, and we got this huge hammer candle after a downside. That alone can serve as a potential continuation to the upside, right? So in other words, this was the shakeout, the ordinary shakeout before the upside continuation. But of course, we're observing that in the smaller time frame, so we have to be reactive to that. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, I wanted to point this out, right? This is another one of my algos. It's very similar to the Bollinger Bands. In fact, the Bollinger Bands are represented by the outside, by the cloud. The only difference is that I'm still working on the buy and sell conditions here, which gives it to you. But I primarily did this because I wanted to display the mean at the very end of the indicator. And in this case, you can see that the mean is located at 34 cents, and we're currently sitting at 34 right now. So this is pretty much one entire indecision right now. But to be very honest with you, all indicators and all statistics and everything are suggesting an upside continuation fairly soon. Yeah, so this 30-minute time frame RSI consolidation, no risk to the downside or to the upside at that for that matter. Moving on into the bi-hourly time frame, it looks like we are very close to the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which would send us to the upside. It's very close to it. We need 48%. We're at 47 and some change. So 4-hour time frame here, making a bullish crossover upside of the SMA 14. I expect here a potential short. I mean, it's not at risk of getting a downside here, but it is sometimes in the best interest for price action to eventually break out of its resistance and then come back and validate it as support before a continuation to the upside. And you can see here that on the 4-hour time frame, we have been below the SMA 14 since September 5th, 2023. We are on September 20th now, right? So it's been quite a while that we've been riding underneath the SMA 14. We're finally breaking outside of it. I'm telling you, there's something happening here. Okay, 8-hour time frame, same situation. We've been under the SMA 14 since September 5th, and now we're breaking upside of it here. There is absolutely no danger for any type of downside here, right? Because this one is sitting at 43.49. If it was at 42, then there is a downside danger. This is smack in the middle. All right, so now looking at the 12-hour time frame, resistance at the SMA 14 right up here, that would mean that we would then give validity to the target that we were looking at around 36 cents, right? So yeah, the 36.05, right, just shy of that. That gives that validity right there. 12-hour time frame. I actually expect us to hit that 36-cent zone coming into maybe tomorrow or the following day. So it's looking not bad whatsoever. Okay, and now let's see, daily time frame, same suggestion here, upside. In fact, the daily time frame may just give a higher valuation than the 12-hour because of this simple fact. This is getting very close to the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, which means that we may have a shot of succeeding the upside of the SMA 14 and then reaching the bullish control zone. I'm talking about the bull strength percentile. So that is looking good. Notice how the upper time frames by daily and 5-day have some consolidation happening straight through. That means that these larger time frames are waiting for the influence from the shorter time frames as momentum cascades from the shorter into the larger time frame, right? So we want to make sure that we have enough bull pressure from the shorter time frames leading up to that larger time frame. Okay, team. So now you know the targets, and now you know what's going on with ASRE. I'm completely long this and considering adding more to the position. But yeah, everything is looking very good. Please take whatever I do show and yeah.